hopefully you can see me live. It was really hard to get in here tonight. It was kind of like the way my last live ended. And let me make sure that you can hear me. So it's been a crazy week. Got back later than I had planned last night. So of course we moved it from last night to tonight. And I just was, while I was dealing with technical difficulties, I looked down and see that several of you were texting me, and hopefully everyone can find me now and we can get this show on the road. The camera kept freezing last time, and I thought I overcame that issue, but it started doing it tonight. And there was an update to my software, but I did not want to do it tonight right before I went live. But maybe I should have. So we are getting ready to do our live now. After card number 2, I'm going to go ahead and pick the winning number. I have tickets and I mailed them to everybody who is on my monthly subscription. So if you are part of the card class monthly subscription, then you got a ticket in your kit. And there was a thing in there that said, if you didn't watch it live, no problem. Whenever you do watch it, if that's your ticket number, then send me a selfie of you and your ticket number so I can compare to the winner. So we're going to do that after the second card. And real quick, hopefully, okay, I'm still moving. I haven't frozen yet. That's good. Wanted to remind everyone about my Stay Scrappy July promo, which is I'll be giving away 2 $25 gift certificates and two $25 CM credits. And you'll get 1 entry for each event you attended this month, and that can be online and in person. And then you will also get 1 entry for every $25 you spend on my website. So if you placed an order for the promos, you'll get entry. So I'll be working on that tomorrow. And then of course, if there are any orders that come through my website tomorrow, Friday. No, wait, what's today? Today's the 30th. So tomorrow is the last day. So if there are any orders that come through the website tomorrow, of course, I will add them as well. Let's see. So, some other announcements here. Okay. Why isn't it showing? It says 5 are waiting. Wait, did someone find me? I tried to make the link. Okay, so, and for some reason when I went live, it did not go to that link. So let me see what I can do over here. I'm going to get rid of this so as not to confuse. I promise we will get this right. How long have I been going live here? 5 years. Hopefully in that now there was one that was hanging out there, I guess, from yesterday, and I just looked on YouTube and it said that people were waiting. Anyway, let's go through these announcements and hopefully people will find me. And maybe I should delete the link that is on Facebook because that link takes people to the wrong place. Um, okay. Get rid of that. And how about I share? Okay. Let's try this. This is the right link. Let's see how that works. I think that's working. All right. So the promo that's happening right now. So the way you confirm your attendance is that you you comment on the online so that I know you are here, and hopefully everyone will find their way here now. So the secret box number 3 is out right now. It's marked hot. They're still available. I think I ordered one extra one. I ordered them, and ladies who were in the mountains at the retreat, we had a super secret box opening. So if you know someone who was at the retreat, then you can hit them up maybe for a picture of the box if you are the type of person that wants to see what it is before. Now, I'll always tell you that the artwork in that little square is a clue to what it is. So if you like what you see on there, then chances are you will like the box. And of course, they all come with a Border Maker cartridge that's exclusive, and that's the only way to get it. All right, so project recipe next Tuesday, and you'll notice in August all of my project recipes are moving to 3 p.m. I'm trying something a little different. So instead of taking up another evening, I am out many weekends and many evenings, and so instead of taking up every Tuesday evening, I'm going to try it at 3 p.m. Since I'm not incentivizing people with CM credits to watch live, I'm not giving away prizes live, and you can attend any time in the month in order to be eligible for CM credits, then I'm moving things to 3. So those of you that are available can watch live, and if you want to watch it later on YouTube, then you can you'll be entered for some CM credits too. So all you have to do to enter for these things to confirm your attendance is to comment. So say hey in the comments, and that way I know you found me, and you will get credit for attending. All right, so that is project recipe next week, and then in 2 weeks we will have tool time, and I might have to switch that up because the bubble punch has sold out. I had one extra one. I sold it in the mountains. Unfortunately, that punch has sold out, so I might have to replace that with a different border punch. But so far, the Wave Crest Chain BMC, which is delightful, is still available. Scrapbook Club, August 14th, 6:30 in Port Orange. We will be making the August spread. And then Scrapapalooza, still have some spots left if you're interested in attending. Then we would love to have you attend. That is 2 days of 2-day festival, Scrappy Fun. And yay, Wanda, you made it. 2 days of so you can work on your own projects, but I will be teaching classes on Friday and Saturday like I did for our summer road trip crop. I will be repeating the waterfall / cascade page. So if you're registered, you're going to get an email which asks you to pre-sign up for that. If you did it before, you can do it again. In fact, I'll have a handout this time. So I've taught it a couple times since then, and I've changed the way I'm teaching it. I think it's a little easier. So you'll definitely want to attend. And Ladies in the Mountains in Helen actually got a little sort of preview. Of course, they didn't get handouts, so they're going to get handouts when you attend coming up. All right, so Techie Tuesday, that will be at 3 on August 19th. And then Crop for Gray and Gold, September 19th and 20th, scheduled. Registration's open, so make sure you're signing up for that. When you click on my website, it's going to take you to cannonballs.org website, and so you're going to register directly with Cannonballs, and that means your money right away goes to the foundation. So none of that money comes through me. All right, and looks like that is the end of that. Now, oh good, it's the right camera. I was having such a hard time. It was kept showing my face, and that was why I was late. So I apologize. And like I said, I scheduled this live, and I thought that was going to make things easier because I could share the link, but that definitely was not easier. It caused much confusion. So I apologize for that. All right, time for us to get out. Let me make sure that the correct mic is on. Looks like it is. Although I feel like you would have told me if you couldn't hear me. But so we're going to take out our card kits. I've got our tickets over here ready to go. I'll be picking one of those out. I sent you half the ticket, so I'm going to be reading a number. I'm going to do one winner after we do the second card. And you don't have to be on live in order to win. You just have to text me a selfie with your ticket to prove you are the owner of the ticket. And so everyone that's on subscription is getting that ticket right now. All right, so this is our first card. And those of you that haven't watched before, when you get the card kit, you're going to get all the pieces to the cards, and you're going to get envelopes. My kit doesn't have the envelopes because I have the whole box of envelopes. So make sure that your butterflies, your dragonflies, mine are. I need to attach them to the sample. You know what it is? I switched the color of dragonfly. It was a different color originally, and so I switched them up. All right, so this is the card we're gonna do first. Some of the ladies I hand delivered them in the mountains, and they were putting them on, putting them together, and which is great, except for a lot of times people just try to do it, and they can't do it with the directions because I haven't done them yet. But I was there live to answer any questions. So we're going to take these 4 pieces. Now to make this card kit, I used a matte pack. And this is a matte pack that came out actually many years ago. But I loved the colors, and I have had it sitting around just waiting for the perfect time. Was wandering around my workshop at the beginning of June saying, what am I going to use? And it was a matte pack. So if you've got mats and parts of matte packs that you don't know what to do with, this might inspire you, because you can cover things up. Like, I just loved the watercolor feel of this paper. It's kind of pastel, not necessarily something you would associate with summertime, but I don't know, when I was looking around trying to decide what to do, I've really just, like I said, that one spoke to me. So you will notice that this actually has a crease. So I scored this line. So you're going to fold that in half, and it's going to wrap around the front cover so that these little butterflies, because we don't want to waste those butterflies. And this card has butterflies and dragonflies on it. And then this piece is going to go behind here to mat. So you're going to butt that right up against here. Of course, I pre-stamped this for you. Everything on here hand stamped. If you haven't done one of my card kits before, this one, sometimes they're printed, sometimes they're foiled. This time they are hand stamped. So I am going to center this so that it's center, top, and bottom, and then I'm going to adhere this in the right place. And I'm going to make sure that I put plenty of tape on here on all sides, because I want to make sure that it sticks there. Now this card, Time Flies When I'm With You, be a great card to send someone that you have spent time with recently. Maybe a thank you. I like to bend up these little wings so that it gives them a little bit of life on the card. So I kind of just put some adhesive in the middle of his or her body, and then kind of bend, and you should have 3 of these. I don't want to cover up the printed dragonflies and butterflies. And then in our little bag here, and some of you that were working on these in the mountains, mainly because my mother was sitting next to me, expressed her disdain for these. Now some people don't like the ones that have the sticky on them already, you know, from the get-go, and some people don't like the ones like these where you have to put your own adhesive on. So what I like to do for these is actually put the adhesive where I want to put the gemstones. And there's beautiful teal. Now I used the larger ones, so you should have at least 3. I tried to put in some extra because sometimes they get flung across the room. So you should have at least, so I'm doing 2 down here in the corner, and you can, you know, change up where you want to put them. Need to turn them over. That's part of the thing, part of the issue with them. And then I'm going 1 up here in this corner. Now it does dry clear, so you you know, if you need to slide it into place, then you should be good that way. All right, and next up we have this card here, and it looks like this. Now some of you hate tearing, so everything's been stamped for you. This beautiful peachy color. I love this shimmer paper. And so you've got your peach, and I thought you might have a piece of paper, because I don't know where mine is, for the inside, so that you can write your sentiment. And hopefully you have that. And maybe I just forgot to pack mine. Or maybe I forgot to cut mine. But, so we're gonna, this peach shimmer is our base. So we're gonna fold your base. And after this card, I'm gonna go ahead and draw. Then we're gonna take this multicolor piece. So there's, you know, two sides, but you can see where I've had to trim these mats to fit. And if you need to take a little bit off, if you need to trim a little bit more, of course you can. I kind of want to trim a little bit off of mine, but I'm trying to think of where the closest trimmer is to me right now. Still packed. This is the closest one to me, the old trimmer. So I'm just going to take a smidge off of the top of this so that it's even all the way around. So sometimes there's a slight variance in the bases, and so that way I get a nice little edge. That's why it's handy to have a trimmer nearby if you need to make a little adjustment. Now this card is going to be facing this way, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece which says In Pursuit of Magic, but this happy birthday is going to go over that, so we're not going to see that sentiment. But you can see in our sample we have these nice torn edges. Now this is nice thick cardstock. These mats that Critter Memories does are nice and thick, so it's really easy to tear along. So you just want to tear off this white part on both sides. And it's okay if it gets a little out of control. And then that's going to go right on here. Now, because I trimmed my other little piece a little bit, I'm going to have to come in here and trim this so it matches. Perfect. Now, it looks a little off center, but we're going to cover that up. We're not even going to worry about that. I don't know if Wanda is still watching, if she's making her cards live, but Wanda helped some scrappy friends leaving the mountains, and I texted her and said she earned the Angel Award, and I was, you know, I was like, I just made that up. We don't have an Angel Award, but sometimes our scrappy friends go above and beyond, and this was one of those times. So thank you so much, Wanda, for your amazing heart. You are a blessing. Thank you. And I hope you have gotten some rest. All right, so this card has 3. You saw me as I was talking. I was just kind of adding those together. So the sentiment goes on here, and then our dragonflies there, and then we're going to add 2 glue dots with my precision point adhesive up on the top, and then 3 down here on the bottom. And then we are going to attempt to not frustrate ourselves by adding these gemstones. Now, I had a scrappy friend send me little trays that like people use for diamond dots. I'm gonna sneeze, excuse me. Oh, and you know, those are the kinds of things that you can never find when you need them. But if you have those, you might want to have one be for your card making gemstones. That would be super handy because it is easier when they obviously are the right side up to pick them up and position them. And it's nice because the glue dries clear. You can kind of slide them into place and position them just the way you want them on your card. And that looks like that. All right, so with the second card being done, I'm gonna go ahead and draw for our tickets. So, of course, because I mailed everyone the ticket, I don't know whose is whose, so I am just gonna randomly pick one here. So 833-9995 is our winner. 833-9995. And if that person never watches, then I guess I won't be sending them. I'm going to write winner on the back of here. And that's July. But there's no time limit. So whenever this person gets around to watching, the number is 833-9995. And I will post that when I post the video. But all you have to do is text me a picture of you holding your ticket. All right. Next up is this one. You're so strong. And there's a lot of strong ladies in my life that I could send this card to. Not, as women, right? We don't necessarily want to be strong or feel like we're strong. We're just trying to get through the day. But some of our friends need that encouragement. So this would be a good card to send a friend that maybe you've seen go through a tough year. Now, I accidentally cut mine apart, so no big deal. Yours is going to be in one piece, but no one is going to be able to tell that is in two. So yours will not be in two. Yours is in one. I don't know how I did that, but I'm going to just piece those together and then add this top one. So I've stamped on the You're So, and then I've gotten these were part of a Creative Memories embellishment pack. This one, and we've got a couple other ones where you're going to use Amazing and Wonderful as well. And they're part of an embellishment pack. Again, when I see sometimes, Creative Memories comes out with a new product, I get inspired. Some things lend themselves to card making, some things don't. But when I get inspired, then I have to buy many of them so that I have enough for all of our card kits. And if you want to join the subscription, there's you can just join for 1 month. The subscription's $25 a month. You get all of the pieces for the cards, and you'll assemble. If you're just watching and you don't get the card kit, this is what we do. The last Tuesday of every month, except for last night, because I was driving down the highway and I said to my daughter, when I knew, one time I was driving my dad home from my grandmother's funeral, and I did a card class from a Panera in South Carolina, but I knew I was going to be gone because we were coming from DC that day. And I knew I wasn't going to be here. So I prepared and I brought my overhead camera. And here I am in Panera with the camera attached to the table. My dad's across from me eating dinner. And my daughter said, "Oh, I'm sure people in Panera were like, what on earth is going on here?" So I'm using the smallest gemstones for the corners here. And I put one in each corner, so there's going to be 4. I should just carry around my my camera just in case. You never know. I don't know if you've been watching for a long time. You might remember when I was in Arizona and had to do them from the rehab my dad was in after his stroke. And I did card class from there. And I've done card class from Maine, from the woods. Right, that one. So I've done card classes from all over the place. And I wish I had thought about it. We did end up like stopping for a little bit because some crazy storms in Georgia last night on the way home. All right, so that is card number 3. And next up we have card number 4. We're almost done. And even though I started late, we might be done on time. Now this one has a little fussy cutting. So this one is Hope It's an Amazing Birthday. So we're using that amazing embellishment. So we'll go ahead and fold our and those of you, there's certain colors people looks like I need to trim this one again. Now I hope it's just me, but if it's you, I apologize for putting you through some extra work here by trimming that, or maybe it doesn't bother you, and that's okay too. There are people, some people are just they're dragonfly people. It's one of those things that reminds them of people that are no longer with us. And so dragonflies, cardinals, there's lots of things like that. Some people feel that way about a certain color because it reminds them of a person who's no longer with us. So I know there's some people that see the dragonfly and say, "Oh, I gotta do that card." Now this one you are meant to cut around. Now I suggest, if you have a trimmer handy, that you use a trimmer to cut off the white. So I'll just say, because my mom did these in Helen before the video, she didn't want to just throw away, so she added these little strips to the inside, which is a great idea. Now I'm going to fussy cut this top part because I want the little tab to stand alone. So this is probably going to be the longest. This is going to take the longest out of any of the cards. It's just fussy cutting around here. Now, in case you missed the memo, the Volano retreat is open. It's Halloween weekend. So normally, last year was the first time it fell on Halloween. And normally it's not. Normally that retreat fills up so fast. But people are torn with Halloween because they have things to do with their kids, or they have, family parties or neighborhood parties, that kind of thing. Actually, I'm going to have to move this down a little bit. I centered it, but because of that tab, I think it needs to come down just a smidge. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these together first, and then I'll place it on the card. So this could be your opportunity to join us in Volano. If you don't have plans generally for Halloween, because this year might be your year to get in. If it's a crop or if it's a retreat that you've been trying to get into. So it's Volano Beach, which is north of St. Augustine. And we are at the Hampton Inn in Volano Beach. Which starts Thursday afternoon. And we go out to dinner Thursday night at the end of the street. Just a short walk, but you can drive if you want. And then Friday we have a pirate party normally, but since it's Halloween this year, you don't have to dress like a pirate. I will be dressed like a pirate because we always do pearl diving at Volano. Well, this will be the 3rd or 4th year we've done pearl diving. We've done it a couple times, and it's so much fun that it's one of those things, because I repeat these themes generally at my crop, so we add things in, and that's one thing I added a couple years ago, and it's super fun. Okay, so we've got our Hope It's an Amazing Birthday and our dragonflies, and now we're going to add on some gems. So this you could definitely kind of, play with. You do not have to, well, you never have to do them like I do them, but I'm kind of going in between these little dangly letters and on the outsides of that A. So I'm going to be using 5, and you might be fighting with your gemstones. This week in Helen, somehow my tweezers got involved in some stickiness, which actually is proving to be quite helpful because they're just like finding themselves sticking regardless of the direction to these, and that is making my application a little better. So maybe if you've got some liquid glue, kind of get your tweezers a little tacky. And there goes that. All right, last card. We've got some more of these peach shimmer butterflies, and this one, Sending Big Wonderful Birthday Wishes. That's kind of a mouthful, I realize after. Sending Big Wonderful Birthday Wishes. It's kind of a tongue twister. And I think only one of these was portrait style. All the rest of them are landscape, which is kind of interesting. All right, so that is going to go there. Now you could use this side with the butterflies if you wanted. If you wanted to use that side. I like the contrast of the dark blue myself, but whatever looks good to you works. If you're not someone that uses these matte packs regularly, they used to be $10 and they came with 24 mats. Now they're $6. They come with 12 mats. So they aren't as much of an investment, if you will. Some people, they're like, oh, they like that they coordinate with the collections, but for $10, they'd rather another embellishment pack or, get an adhesive. So I love that Creative Memories has kind of changed the price point of them down to that $6. But you still might have some extra, and they make great cards, honestly. Because if they're blank, if they're journal boxes, you can stamp right on them. They're really thick, heavy cardstock, as you can tell if you're sitting and making cards with me right now, then you can see how thick they are. So, if you haven't, now the old ones, old CM, remember those ones that came in those clear boxes? Oh, the boxes themselves were amazing, but those journal boxes were not thick like this. They were kind of thin, the regular thin designer paper, those journal boxes. And if you've been around a while, you know the ones I'm talking about. Sometimes they had different size ones, and they kind of were, you could tear them apart. They were perforated. But I do love the new generation journal, the mats. And like I said, even if you're, well, the other reason they're nice, they have, you know, like lines for journaling, but they also have like big sayings, kind of like we've been covering up on these cards. And those are great if you're the type of person that maybe you're working on a huge backlog of photos and maybe you don't remember the details. They have these great sayings on them and they fill up like 4x6. So they're kind of like titles. So they're matte packs, but they also work great as titles. And then, like I said, if you've got some left over, then you can use them to make some cards. All right. And that is our cards for the month. And that's really funny. I just looked what got posted on Facebook is hysterical. I'm like looking down at my phone, like the top of my head. All right, let's find all our cards and look at them. So I'll try to go with something a little more bright for August as we're moving into the fall months. This kind of would have been a fun maybe October one with the bronze colors. Although our October one is usually has the Croptoberfest theme. So I don't know. We'll find something fun to do. Let's see if my other camera still works. If I can switch to that and say goodbye to everyone. We shall see. Oh. Clicking buttons. Oh, I still work. Wonderful. Oh, look like I've been through the ringer. But thank you all for joining me. Let's see, it's almost we're almost out of time, but I still got you out of here on time, and I appreciate you joining me tonight. I will try to get all these gremlins fixed before next Tuesday. And remember, and of course I will be posting it on Facebook, but that will be at 3 p.m. But you'll want to register so you get the PDF. That is the key with the project recipes, and also that is how you'll tell me you are attending, and then you can comment on it when you do attend, and that way you will I'll know you attended. All right, well, I am going to be working on a giant wheel of names tomorrow with everyone's entries from all of the things that you attended and orders from the website, and we will pick two $25 CM credit winners tomorrow. Well, on the 1st. So we'll let all those last minute orders get in there. But thank you, everyone. Sorry about being late and you guys having a hard time finding me. Hopefully you found me. And if you haven't found me yet, hopefully you'll find this link and we'll